46 days out. It's about 4:20 right now, and we're gonna eat some pre-workout meal. Look at this, beautiful, how beautiful. 60 grams of rice, still 100 grams of grilled chicken, and a teaspoon of olive oil. After this, it's coffee. It's our pull session. Tomorrow's a rest day. I'm gonna get my blood work done. I'm feeling good. It's Tuesday morning. We're headed to the gym. It is a pull session. We are, 47 days out. We're in week 7. I should know. I'll tell you this, forgetful, but feeling really, really good. Just over 160 pounds this morning. I feel like I look good. It always feels weird to say that, right? But I feel like I look good. But most importantly, I feel really good. We had an active weekend. I running around for me. And I think yesterday maybe I was a little tired. And last night I slept great. And normally on the pull days, it's legs, push, pull, rest. Normally today, I'm feeling a little beat up. I'm feeling a little, let's call it systemic fatigue, aka I'm feeling tired. Today I feel soreness in the muscles, some of the muscles that I worked yesterday, especially my shoulders and chest. But I feel fired up and ready to rock and roll. Typically on these days, I might have a 5-hour energy that's it. I don't have any other sort of pre-workout. I'm gonna drink my coffee in the morning. But today it's just coffee. So I feel this is really, really, really good. And one thing I noticed that I did yesterday that I'm gonna repeat, which is so obvious, but it's an easy thing to miss, an easy thing for me to miss, which is I cut off my caffeine consumption in the afternoon. Most people say, like, well, of course, like you drink coffee in the morning. What do you mean you cut it off in the afternoon? I have a tendency to drink coffee all day. So I might have my last cup of coffee at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I go to bed, mind you, 7:30, we're starting bedtime. 8 o'clock, it's lights out. So drinking coffee at 5 p.m. when you're going to bed at 8 is really not a good idea. And everyone in the world knows this, including me, except I still have a tendency to do it. And even on a Sunday, I'm running around with the kids. I don't know when my last cup of coffee was, but it was definitely sometime between 3 and 4 p.m. It was still in the afternoon. It was not like I was just done. I had an extra cup at breakfast at 9 or something. No. So switching. I still have decaf in the afternoons, like yesterday, just not regular. And as a result, I don't know, maybe I fell asleep a little bit faster or just felt like I slept a little bit better. Again, the most obvious thing in the world, but I find that it's very easy for me to make slight twists that compound over time. So just as I'm such a psychopath about getting up early and going to the gym not every day, but on my plan, 3 days on, 1 day off, I also have a tendency to do other things very habitually. So if I have an afternoon cup of coffee one day and I'm feeling tired and I feel good, I have another one the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And I don't put a stop in. So we're gonna course correct a little bit here and go back to some decaf because again, I'm feeling really good. Excited for today's pull workout. Gotta do some hammer curls, and then I get to do all the lat work that I skipped out on as a younger man. And let's finally try to develop some lats in my mid-30s. I'm excited. See you back for food and see you back for lifting.
just finished my back session. Oh my goodness, today years old, when I finally learned how to stretch properly, because I failed to pull out of this parking lot in an underhand cable row, which sounds a little esoteric, but everybody knows what the cable row is. It's an iconic exercise. You have the big weight stack, there's a bench on the floor. You've seen Arnold do it in pumping iron. You just row the, nice, loud chain, just row the weight. And so here are two things that I've been doing that I recently changed as of today, and wow, does it feel different. Well, meaning a lot more stretch, a lot more pump in the muscle, just in the lats is what I want. So first of all, I wasn't leaning nearly far enough forward. Again, the camera was really helpful here because I thought I was really stretching. I understand intellectually that I need to stretch the muscle in order to build it or whatever, to work it. And so I could see on the camera, I'm not actually stretching that far forward. So I started to, in my mind, exaggerate the stretch to actually get to the correct position. I find I often have to do this. When I'm not going through the movement properly, I exaggerate the motion in my mind and go figure, boom, and you kind of end up closer to the right spot. It takes time. So now I've got the full stretch. The second piece, and this was a tip from Charles Glass that I've been trying to incorporate, but I didn't really get it, and now I think I actually made the connection, Oprah Winfrey style, is he recommends, hey, don't row the weight all the way back, or when you row the weight back, don't use your back and move. Don't use that sort of momentum in that muscle. And to a certain extent, I guess I just always did the exercise that way. It was like I was kind of rowing a boat, if you will. Not that I think I've ever even done that, so I have no idea. But my back was actually moving backwards. I was moving, so stretch and then moving all the way back. So I stopped that. And I just tried my best, it's difficult, but my best to stay forward. So stretch all the way, but keep that back at not 90 degrees, but maybe closer to 45. It's not perfect in my case, but it's closer. And now all of a sudden I've got the stretch, but I don't have any of that momentum or that you're using any of those other muscles to move the weight back. So all of a sudden, what was previously a good weight for 15 reps is barely 10. I'm dropping weight off the stack and I just feel it all in the lats. Now, maybe if you're trying to work upper back or mid back or the things, then you do, I'm sure you would do this differently. But at least for me right now, it's like, oh, I have poor lat development. Now, here's one reason why. Here's one reason why. Because I wasn't stretching, I was using too much momentum or too many other muscles in the actual rowing portion of the movement, the concentric portion. So it's like, oh, well, to me, this is really exciting and fun. It's like this puzzle piece, this kind of unraveling. It's like, why aren't, how am I, why does my physique look the way it does? Not good or bad, but why? Can we understand, unpack this a little bit? And it's like, more arm development and maybe a little bit more of the traps upper back. Maybe no, that's not true, but definitely more arm development because I haven't been fully engaging the lats in all these back exercises. So it's not like I haven't been doing back exercises, I just haven't been doing them properly. And so now as I start to learn, it's like, oh, well, here's how you actually engage the lats and use them and use less bicep. Fingers crossed here, they should start to grow. So, boy, am I excited about this. Let's get back, let's get a shake, let's get the day going. Love it so much. You were policing the kitchen, Liam? Mm-hmm. Excellent. It's a cold morning. We've got some grilled cheese coming in. I've got my big helper who's also licking the knife on the mayonnaise, which is normally something that would seem disgusting. But at this stage, gosh, I want to lick the knife too. Keep it going, Oscar. Let's go, grilled cheese. Yeah. Post-workout meal, my favorite meal of the day. We've got our 3/4 cup oatmeal, some greens, spinach, and some grilled chicken. And check this out, because Lydia's always stealing from my bowl now. So yes, I made her own oatmeal and chicken. No greens. I might even throw some olive oil in there or some other fat to make it a little bit tastier. Of course, she won't eat it unless she sees me start to eat it. So we got to figure out how to do this. So I'm at the stage now where I'm like, hey, listen, I know you're my daughter and I love you, but I'm not giving you any of my food. Meal A, aka lunch. We've got 7 ounces of sweet potato, 130 grams of chicken thighs sitting on the porch while I am terrified to look at my email and Slack to see what this next work message is. Yeah, hopefully I'm not fired, but I mean, I don't think it's that. But nevertheless, enjoying the outdoors here before I dive back into my digital realm. Meal B, we've got 120 grams of rice, 100 grams of grilled chicken, and a teaspoon of olive oil. Eat this, then hop on the treadmill for cardio, which maybe sounds a little gross, but at this moment, I feel like my stomach will still be not empty, but I'm certainly not going to feel full, so I'm ready to pound it out. See ya.
Meal C, we've got dinner here. 130 grams, that's actually post-cook, of ground turkey, and only 55 grams of rice, so just a little bit in there so that I can have my